Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's Tour Tuesday. It's good to see everybody.
Mhm.
Wow, we've got almost 35 people here already. So it's good to see everybody. It's sunny and hot outside, so we're happy to be
Mhm.
inside. I see two tour directors. Andy Byers is with us tonight, and she is escorting the Memphis and Nashville trip that leaves on Friday. So this is perfect because she can help participate, maybe even learn a thing or two about Memphis and Nashville to get ready to escort her group this week. And then we have a special visit from Penny Rudolph. You recognize her face, you may not recognize her background. She is joining us from beautiful Mackinac Island, Michigan, where she is currently escorting a group of 35-star travelers, and they just arrived on Mackinac Island today. So she's got our Wi-Fi going. She changed around some furniture so she can join us today, and there she is. So say hello, Penny.
Hi, everybody. Glad for you to join us. So happy.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm going to keep the suspense going, and I'll introduce you to our friends that are joining us tonight. You know that I always like to start with a poll when I can. So I have a poll that I'm going to launch, and you can participate. So here's the poll. You have a minute or two to do it. Let me know if you have visited the state of Tennessee. So yes, you have visited the state of Tennessee, or no, but you can't wait to visit. And tell me if you've traveled with tour director Penny Rudolph in the past. I'd like to see who's met Penny and who's not met Penny. So go ahead and complete the polls. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. And then we're going to start our presentation. I don't want to keep you waiting.
Mhm.
So, and like I said, oh, I see Deb Ayers is joining us.
Hello there.
I see her. She's saying hi, Phyllis.
Okay.
I can read
Okay.
her lips.
She's on mute. She's muted.
She's on mute. She's on mute. We barely let her go in time today from the office. It was so busy. There she
Yeah,
is.
and I almost ran out of gas on the way home.
Oh no.
I was so worried about getting home on time. I looked down at my tank and it beeped at me, and I had 17 miles to go. So, but I made it. I made it.
You
That's all
made
that
it.
matters.
All right.
All right. That's a good thing. I wouldn't have been able to come rescue her because I would have been getting ready for
Yeah.
you guys. All right. So let's see. Almost everybody has done. So I'm going to end. I'll wait about 10 seconds before I end this poll. Oh, this is great. This is great. Wait till you see the results. All right. So 44% of you, less than half, have visited the state of Tennessee. That's probably why you're on this Zoom presentation tonight, is you want to learn and you can't wait to visit Tennessee. So that's awesome. Our friends from Tennessee have lots to talk about and tell you about, so that you will be booking your trip to Tennessee soon enough. And wow, only a third of you have traveled with Penny. So lots of you have some opportunity to travel and meet Penny in person instead of seeing her on this wonderful Zoom screen every other Tuesday, pretty much. So that tells us a lot. So without further ado, I am going to share my screen, and we are going to kick off our Tour Tuesday with some special guests. I'm going to introduce you to the man on the left, actually in your camera as well as on the screen, is Pete Smith. Pete is the director of sales of Smoky Mountain Resorts and Tour Tennessee. And Andrew, on Pete's right, is the group tour sales specialist, also from Smoky Mountain Resorts and Tour Tennessee. And we say Tour Tennessee, like Tennessee, we call it Tennessee twosome. This is like a terrible Tennessee twosome. So I would love for you guys to introduce yourselves and say hello, and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, thank you for having us. First of all, we're big fans of Star Tours, and we've done a few things together and love working with Star. They have a great reputation, not only where you are, but where we are too. And so we're excited about being a part of this. But you're looking at two Tennessee hillbillies here, and so if nothing else, you got to look at two.
That's
It's
right.
like going to a museum.
Yes.
And
It turns out you don't need to go to Tennessee at all. You can just
Yeah.
look at them.
right here. And but we are. I grew up here in the Smoky Mountains. Andrew did as well.
Born and raised.
And so we know the area pretty well, and have seen it grow. And we were talking to a lady today that's been doing tours of our area for 45 years, and she remembered when when a lot of the people that lived in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park actually still lived in the park before they all left, before they moved out of the park to make it a national park. And she's given us so many great stories about the people that made this area what it is. But it's funny that there were some sisters there that old maids, she called them. She said there were 5 old maids that lived in one cabin in the park, and they started making jelly and started making quilts and all these different things to sell to tourists. And we haven't stopped. I think that was in 1937 when that happened, and we still have stuff going on. And so the town has exploded, and now we've got music, and we've got of course a young lady named Dolly Parton that's from this area, and she's done quite a bit for our area. But it grows every year, and yet keeps its mountain flavor. And so anyway, well, we're glad to be a part of this. It's a great itinerary. I looked at it this week, and I thought, man, I may want to go on this trip. And so and we live here. So
Here's a question. Are those accents you guys have real accents?
well, we actually have been practicing this for the last week. And we
You've
both
done
have,
a pretty good job.
yeah, we really sound like Midwesterners, but we put this on just to make it sound authentic.
Authentic it is. Authentic it is. Well, we're going to jump right in and talk about our Smoky Mountain Showtime and Dollywood tour. It is very special. It's so special that it's currently sold out. I apologize. However, we still have a waiting list that you can join, and we offer this trip every year. So if you don't make it this year, you can definitely make it in a future year. So the prices are shown. There's breakfast, 5 breakfasts, so breakfast every morning, and 2 dinners are included. So what you can expect from Smoky Mountain Showtime and Dollywood: music, high energy dancing, variety, and fun. 3 fabulous shows, a full day at Dollywood, and then the breathtaking beauty of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So with that, I'm going to ask Penny to take us through the itinerary, and we'll have Pete and Andrew chime in as well.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on these 2 wonderful Tennessee tours. When you go to Tennessee, you're going to see great entertainment and great music, whichever tour you take. On day 1, we travel to Whitfield. We take the Pennsylvania Turnpike down to beautiful 81, down to Whitfield. We continue 81 through the Blue Ridge Mountains, through the Shenandoah Mountains, into the Smoky Mountains to Route 40. And the second day, we continue in through Tennessee. We will stop at the Welcome Center in Bristol, and our first stop in Pigeon Forge will be at the Island in Pigeon Forge. A great venue, lots of shops, chance to eat, walk around, go on a Ferris wheel ride, lots of fountains, and we will check in the afternoon for 3 overnights at the Country Cascades Hotel, a beautiful, comfortable hotel just a half a block off of the Parkway, and we'll enjoy our 3 evenings there. At the evening, we'll go to one of my favorite places, the Applewood Farmhouse. And Andrew, I think you have a little bit of information to say about that.
So with the Applewood Farmhouse, it's one of the oldest restaurants in Sevierville. The farmhouse itself, it's over 100 years old, but the restaurant, it being turned into a restaurant, has been there for 35 years. They'll be celebrating their 35th anniversary this coming year. So it's one of my favorites
Yeah,
to eat
me too.
at.
It started as an apple orchard and just a barn out in the middle of and the fella's house was there. Well, people kept coming over and wanted apples, and he said, well, maybe we could make some apple pies. And so they started doing that and selling the apple pies. And then they said, well, maybe we could do these apple fritters and maybe some apple butter. And then they just opened a restaurant. And now it's world famous.
Right.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, one of the nicest things at the Applewood Farmhouse is that when you sit at your tables, that you have a menu, you order from it, but they have fresh hot apple fritters sprinkled with powdered sugar and fresh apple butter to dip in them, and boy, is that delicious.
Yes.
After our dinner, we're going to see an evening show at the Country Tonight Theater. You'll be dancing, singing, and having a great time.
Awesome.
Yeah, they do country and oldies and bluegrass and gospel and all sorts of music. And it's a brand new show this year. They just redesigned the entire show. And so it's if you've seen it before, you'll see a new show this time. And we saw it and it's unbelievable.
Yes,
it's a
very
great show.
good.
Excellent. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the hotel? I've stayed at the hotel. It's very comfortable, large rooms. Anything you want to add about that?
Yeah, we're the neat thing about that is what everybody talks about is our breakfast. You know, we've got a 40-item breakfast there, so you get to chow down each morning, and so you're fueled up before you head out to the mountains or to the island or to any of those places. But it's a very comfortable spot, and we're pretty proud of it. We host quite a few people each year, and Andrew and I represent probably about 800 hotel rooms in the area. And this is where we like to put people. So we're excited about you being able to stay at Country Cascades.
Very bus friendly. Very bus friendly. We love having motor coach groups there.
And the motor coaches pull right up under the portico, right?
Yeah, you don't get rained on. You can walk right in. We help you with your luggage. And so we're there to help you.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Penny.
All right, so day three after our wonderful breakfast, we traveled to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we'll have a guided tour of Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Smoky Mountain National Park is the most visited park of all of our national parks. It is breathtakingly beautiful. You'll go into the visitor center, extremely informative, drive through the park itself, and then you'll have time for lunch and shopping in downtown Gatlinburg before we return to the hotel, where we will get ready for our dinner show at the Pirates Voyage. And that's an interactive dinner show, a lot of fun, and it's something you'll really enjoy.
There's no more pausing your show for some lame delivery that's like not even for you. Or garnish your favorite seat.
Hello?
I have to go ahead and mute yourself if you don't mind. Okay, do you want to talk about Pirates Voyage?
Yes, I've got a little blurb on it that I thought would be best read, and it's Dolly Parton's swashbuckling competition between the Sapphire and Crimson crews in an epic battle for lost treasure on land, on deck, in water, and high above. Full-size pirate ships in 15-foot deep the Hideaway Lagoon, and it is a unique experience. The food's great there, and it's acrobatic, and it's musical, and it's a departure from the standard shows, and so you get to see something that's a little different. Sometimes, if you've been on some of these trips, we've seen lesser itineraries where they take you and they put you at the same type show one after the other, or the same type meal one after the other. What I liked about this itinerary is there's so much variety in it. Right. You get to do a lot of different things, and it just keeps you, one day it's nature, one day it's Dollywood, and then the next day it's a show, and then it's a different type show, and then you go into the out. So that's what I like about the fact that you put pirates in there. It's a completely different experience, but it's an interactive, immersive experience.
Funny you should mention, this was by design, Pete. We do these things on purpose. So it turns out we work very hard to have variety in the shows. So I'm glad that you recognize that.
It shows.
I think our travelers will as well. All right, this is big time, right?
Yeah.
We used to have just a half-day trip to Dollywood, but our travelers told us they wanted more time there. So we now spend an entire day at Dollywood.
Yes.
And Dollywood is, of course, Dolly Parton, international recording star. And she is, it's her home in the Smokies is what she calls it. But Dolly has been a boon to this area, and boy, have they invested the dollars and the time and effort. And she's lent her name to this particular spot, and she takes a lot of pride in it. So the things that they have there, the artisans, the craftsmen, the demonstrations that they do, it's not just a music park. It's not just a roller coaster park. There's so many things that you can do. But what I love about it is going in there, hearing great music, hearing the great or seeing the craftsmen working, and of course, just the theming of the entire thing. The food is incredible.
Yes.
And they've spent a lot of time this year revamping all that they do food wise. But it's going to be a fun day.
And if you're over at Dollywood, one of my favorites is the homemade cinnamon bread. You got to make sure you get some of that good homemade cinnamon bread and take some home with you.
Yeah.
It's one of the best. Make everything there on park. So,
Calorie free.
Yes.
Calorie free.
Calorie free.
Everything is calorie free when you're on vacation, I thought. Isn't that the rule?
That's right.
One of the great things about Dollywood is when we go in there, you will get a whole schedule of events, and you can make up your own time what you want to do there. You want to go to the amusement park, or if you want to go, you can literally see 5 or 6 individual separate shows in individual theaters, some in amphitheater, some outside, some inside. Go and see the crafts. Everybody likes their own thing, but you have that freedom to do what you would like to do. And the music is phenomenal. The shows are great, many of which have some of Dolly's family, and they sing about their life, and they talk about their life and growing up in the mountains. And it's just really fabulous. It's a great day.
Yes.
Sounds awesome. Sounds absolutely awesome. All right. Well, we'll have to have a good night's sleep that night.
Absolutely. So on day 5, we're going to have our breakfast, or check out of the hotel, and we're going to the Smith Family Morning Show, which is a great show. And you think, boy, a show at 9 o'clock in the morning, but yeah, we go there and it's wonderful. We'll see the variety show, and it encompasses a whole lot of different things. And after that, we will be heading over to the area where we'll have lunch at the old mill, and that'll be wonderful. Andrew, you have anything to say about the Smith Variety Show?
Smith Morning Variety Show is a great show. We call him the man of 1,000 voices. He's very talented, been with here in Sevier County for a number of years, and you can't beat it. I mean, it's one of my favorites. So we try to recommend that to a lot of different tour companies to add that in as a great morning show to see. So
it's such a great show. I've loved it so much, and I want to. We'll do a little 6 degree of separation, right? Or who do you know? But you might recognize the last name Smith, although it's a common last name. It happens to be the last name of the gentleman that you're looking at on your left in the screen.
Yeah.
That is Mr. Pete Smith, brother of Mr. Charlie Bob Smith. So
That's right. I'm the untalented brother. And I think he got a double helping there, and I'm not bitter about it much. So, but it is a fun show. It's it's meant to lighten your mood. That's kind of the idea. And there's some great music. The musicians he's got with him are incredible and handpicked. And but it's a lot of fun. That's the thing I would say is it starts your day out just right. It gives you a great tone to start that day and to go enjoy the rest of it. But it's lighthearted and it's fun and it's uplifting. And so anyway, and I love my brother too, so I have to brag on him a little bit.
That show is all that. It is fun, uplifting, and it is a great way to start your day. So and then Penny, tell us about the rest of the day.
Okay, so after we leave there, and one thing I want to add, no matter where you go in the Pigeon Forge area, Gatlinburg, the Smoky Mountains, there is such an abundance of talented people. It is amazing. And all the shows, all the venues, everywhere you go, you are just overwhelmed that in that small area, there's so many people with fabulous talent, amazing talent. So after we leave there, we're going to stop off at the old mill area, and you can eat there, go shopping there, and have some of those real good Southern treats, and shop, do some souvenir shopping if you'd like. And at the during the afternoon, we're going to head back to Wytheville for our last evening at the Country Inn and Suites, a great comfortable property with wonderful staff. We'll spend the evening, you'll have dinner on your own. And on the last day after our breakfast, we will head on back home. So this is a great, wonderful Tennessee trip. Smoky Mountains with Dollywood, you'll love it.
It is a great trip. It is one of our highest rated trips. It sells out every year. This year being no different. I apologize. I scheduled this 6 months in advance. I didn't know the trip was going to be sold out. So I feel like I'm teasing you and telling you about it, and then I'm not letting you go on it. But you never know. Book the wait list or at least go in the future for sure, because it is a great trip. I'm going to open it up for questions. If you'd like, just go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can either raise your hand virtually, raise your hand on the camera, and let us know you have a question, because we have, of course, Pete and Andrew here to answer your questions, and Penny too. So, and I've been to Pigeon Forge.
She has. You have been.
I did. I saw a lot of these shows that you're going to see. I did not go to Dollywood, unfortunately. That was the one thing I didn't get to do, but I got to do everything else that you're doing. Hi, Philip.
How long is the trip as far as from one? I mean, how many hours does it take to get there and stuff?
Good question, Penny.
Yeah, I would say, you know, many of these tours, when you go a distance, your first day is a travel day. But by about 11:30 on the second morning, you are there at the fun begins.
Yeah.
A lot of rest stops, huh?
We're stopping
And you do every 2 to 3 hours. We have a rest stop, lunch stop, rest stop, get to our destination, rest stop before we get into the Pigeon Forge area. And again, you know, you're there by 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Connie has a question. She's got her hand up. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, 2 questions. What is the mask requirement on the trips?
Okay, so right now and through the middle of September, we will be wearing masks on the bus. And that is a mandate, a federal mandate from the CDC. After the middle of September, we don't know. We hope that we won't be able to, we won't be having to wear masks on the bus, but we just don't know what's happening. So we're telling people pretty much expect to wear them maybe through the end of the year. And if not, then we'll be in better shape. But definitely through the middle of September, we're wearing masks on the bus based on the CDC mandate.
Okay, and then how do you get on the wait list, and what are your chances of getting on the trip?
That's a good question. Oh, Deb wants to answer. Good.
Well, how you get on the wait list, just give me a call tomorrow. I'll be happy to do that.
Okay.
And I always tell people when they ask me what the chances are, if I knew that, I would be a rich woman. And I would not be on this video call right now. The third thing I'll make a comment about that is your question as well overall. And for some reason, if you do not get to do the trip this year, I will let you know when the dates are available for next year, and you could be one of the first ones to book. So you have something, it'll take you a little longer to get there, but you have a whole year to look forward to it.
Okay, all right. Is the wait list usually very long, or it varies?
It varies by tour, but I don't believe I try to remember, I don't believe that the wait list on this is extremely long.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 or 6 if I remember.
Yeah, it's not.
Correctly.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
I'm gonna wait for you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the phone number. So if anyone's listening, you guys can write it down. It's 609-587-0626. And hopefully that goes to Deb or any one of us that are answering the phone, and any one of us can put you on the wait list. And don't forget, the benefit of going on the wait list means that you will be one of the first to get a call for the next trip. So that's a good thing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good questions. Any other questions? Oh, I see a hand. Marie, you have to unmute yourself before you start talking.
Okay, there we go. All right, I came in late, so it's Penny, are you the tour guide for this? Because I've had you before.
Hi, Marie. How are you? Good to see you.
Good, same
Good to
here.
see you. No, I am not the tour guide on this tour.
Oh, okay. All right.
Penny
Another-
has an incredible amount of knowledge about our Tennessee trips. So she's here talking about it, but
Okay.
and her trips vary from year to year. So this year she's not doing Smoky Mountains, but she certainly might be doing Smoky Mountains next year. And I will look up actually to see who the tour director is, because I don't know off the top of my head who the tour director is for this year.
I have another question for you. Being a single traveler, are we not sharing seats because of the virus? I understand when I booked with Deborah in the beginning, is that right?
So right now we are not sitting solo travelers next to anybody that they don't know. So, and that could be somebody traveling alone. It could be a third person or a fifth person on a booking. So, solo, like I said, you won't be sitting next to somebody that you don't know. That could change, and that will likely change. But right now, and I would say again through mid-September, similar to the mask mandate, there are going to be open seats next to solo travelers.
Okay.
So that's
All
a nice bonus for our solo travelers.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now.
That's true. Thank
I
you.
I went on the boat trip this week,
Oh, Assateague Island.
yes, and that was very nice. And I went solo and I had a seat to myself.
Excellent. Great. We ordered you good weather for that.
Yes, it was beautiful.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Any other questions before we move on? All right, well, we can, if you think of a question at the end, we'll come back. I am going to start now. We're going to talk about Memphis and Nashville, and Pete and Andrew are going to stay on and join us. And who knows, maybe they have something to say about Memphis and Nashville. They probably have something to say about everything, but you know, that's a story. So our Memphis and Nashville trip is one of our most popular destinations, our twosome. We usually go I would say 3, 4, or 5 times a year. This year we're going 4 times. It's a 7-day trip. And of course you visit the 2 big cities of Memphis and Nashville. Based on the geography, we visit Nashville first, and then go to Memphis for a couple of nights, and then come back to Nashville. That's just based on the routing. So you're actually spending 2 nights in Nashville, but not in succession, and 2 nights in Memphis, and then 2 nights en route in Wytheville. So Penny will talk about that. There's 6 breakfasts, again, breakfast every morning, 2 lunches and 1 dinner, and you can see the prices there. So it's a really wonderful visit to Tennessee, and gives you, you know, the 2 big music cities. So we'll let Penny take it away. We'll just show you some pictures of Nashville, which is where you're going to start. And just a quick aside, my son goes to college in Nashville, so I've visited a bunch of times, and it is an amazing city. So take it away, Penny.
Hey, I want to thank you, first of all, for using a lot of my pictures.
Yes,
Because-
Penny is a photographer, as you can see.
So this is a wonderful tour, and I always ask people if this is like a bucket list tour for them, because a lot of people love Elvis and they want to see Elvis, and they want to go to Beale Street. So this is something to fill and check off on your bucket list. So because we're going to Tennessee on day 1, we again will do the same routing. We'll go down the Pennsylvania Turnpike down Route 81 through the Shenandoah Mountains, the Blue Ridge, absolutely beautiful. And we'll stay in Whitfield at the Country Inn and Suites. You'll have dinner on your own in the evening, comfy hotel, lovely rooms, lovely staff, nice breakfast in the morning. And on day 2, we will check out and travel to Nashville, Tennessee. On this tour, we actually do have a time zone change, and the time zone change will be on day 2. When we travel to Nashville, we'll stop again at Bristol at the Welcome Center, Tennessee Welcome Center. You'll be able to get all of your brochures and the sites in Nashville and in Memphis. And then we'll head over to Nashville. And what we usually do, because we have that time change, we will head over to the Grand Ole Opry and give you an opportunity to take pictures outside, because in the evening it's a crazy madhouse there and you don't have the opportunity to get the sights that you really want. After our picture stop, then we will take you to the Wingate, Nashville by the airport. It is an upscale, beautiful hotel. You'll change, freshen up, and then we're going to the Opryland Hotel. It's one of the Gaylord hotels, and we'll go on a boat tour on the Delta flatboats. It's a huge hotel that has over 2,000 rooms. We'll go down the river, we'll see waterfalls. It's really just beautiful. You'll have time for dinner on your own, and then we'll head over to the Opryland Hotel, the Opryland, and we will see a wonderful show. Now, a lot of people don't know about the Grand Ole Opry. It's actually a radio show, and they have 4 separate sections, and members of the Grand Ole Opry will bring in new people, new stars, so that people can see them. Last year when we were there, Carly Pierce was the person that did a whole performance there. She was just initiated into the Opry family. So people will come and they'll sing and they come back periodically, but the Opry family takes care of the Opry, and they just never want that circle to be unbroken. Opry is a special place for all of these musicians that work so hard. After our performance, we will head back to the hotel. You'll unwind, relax, and after breakfast on day 3, we are going to head to Memphis. Once we head to Memphis, we're going to Graceland, Elvis's home, and we will have the Elvis experience, which includes not only Graceland, but all of the airplanes that he has, all of the war memorabilia, all of his cars and automobiles, all of his toys. And when we get there, the first thing you do is you will have a video presentation that you'll go in. It kind of is a orientation, and then you'll get into tram cars. And the tram cars will take you over to Graceland itself. Everyone will be given a laptop you wear around your neck, and it's a small one with headphones. They show you how to use them, and you have a self-guided tour through the home. You can take as much time and listen to everything you want. It's narrated by John Stamos, and you go through every single house, every room in that house, all the buildings on the property, and people really love and enjoy it. When you're finished there, you take the tram back, and you have a lunch that's included. And the lunch at Vernon's Smokehouse is a wonderful lunch. You have a coupon, and all the food there are the favorite foods of Elvis. And you pick what you want. If you want anything extra, you pay additional for that. But it is certainly delicious, fulfilling. And then you're on your own to go through all the separate little areas in this visitor center with everything Elvis, all of his theater clothing, all of his cars, everything there. And we're there for the whole day. I'd say from about 11:30 until about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Plenty of time. They even have a building with all of his movies. And if you get tired, you can sit down. and you can watch one movie after another. And after that, we are going to head into downtown Memphis, and we stay right off of Beale Street at the Hampton Inn. Hampton Inn is a lovely property. It is literally a half a block from Beale Street with all the music venues, all the restaurants. And if you don't want all of the noise and hear all that music, you walk up the street and there's about another 6 restaurants that are a little more quieter, but it is a wonderful, wonderful street place to go. A lot of street, a lot of fun, everything. You'll really enjoy that. So the next morning when we wake up, we'll have a great breakfast, and you will have a guided tour all throughout the Memphis area. It will include, I always say, you have to see the Mississippi. You can't drive halfway across the country and not see the Mississippi, Mud Island, your pyramid. You'll go through Beale Street during the daytime. You'll go to the Lorraine Hotel, where Martin Luther King was assassinated. It's right by the new National Monument there. It's quite beautiful. If St. Jude's is open, we stop there and we see a building with tribute to Danny Thomas and all the wonderful work they have done. When our tour is just about over, one of the big highlights is we go to the Peabody Hotel where we see the March of the Ducks. A lot of people say, what is that? Well, the Peabody Hotel actually keeps a male and 4 female ducks in the penthouse. And every day at 11 o'clock, they come down the elevator, run through a red carpet into the fountain. They swim in the fountain till 5, at which time they're escorted back up. So we get a chance to see that. It's a lot of fun. So our tour will end back at the hotel. You'll have a couple of hours for lunch and free time on Beale Street, relax in your hotel, whatever you would like. We'll meet together at the hotel and we'll go over to the Rock and Soul Museum, which is actually a Smithsonian museum. It's done fabulously. It's I'd say a little more than a half a block from our hotel. They have a wonderful video that introduces you to the music of the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, how it all melded together and became what it is today. Then you have a self-guided tour. You have your own headphones. You go around the museum, and it's excellent, excellent, well done. A lot of music, singers that you will remember. From there, we're going to take you to Sun Studios, and that's the birthplace of rock and roll. That's where Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Johnny Cash all got their start. We have a guided tour. It's great fun there. And when we're done, we come back to the hotel and you have your second evening free to do whatever you would like. Dinner on your own, go hear music. And after breakfast in the hotel, the next morning, we will travel back to Nashville. Once we get to Nashville, we go directly to the Country Music Hall of Fame. However, I always recommend, and I think most of the tour directors recommend, because the amount of time we have there, is to walk the 1 block to Broadway, walk down Broadway, see all the honky tonk, have your lunch, see all the shops and stores and what Nashville is known for. And then walk your way around to the Country Music Hall of Fame, spend a couple of hours there. It's a great experience. You take the elevator up to the top floor, you wind yourself down, great music, great venues. And when we're done there, we are going to head back to the Wingate Hotel by the airport. You'll freshen up, and then we're going out for a dinner buffet at Nashville Nightlife Theater. This is a family-run theater. The family, it's 2 brothers, their wives, their son, used to work with Tammy Wynette. They traveled around with her, and they have started their own theater. They're fabulous, great musicians. You will be standing in your seats, singing along with them. Amazing musicians, a talented family, and great dinner, great Southern food. So when that's all done, we will head on back to our hotel for our final evening, and we will check out of the hotel, and we're going to travel near the Smoky Mountains. And we will have our time change again. We will go and go back an hour. And we will have an included lunch at the Applewood Farmhouse that Andrew and Pete were talking about with the wonderful apple fritters. However, we have enough time that at the farmhouse after lunch, you'll have time to go to their country store, to go to their ice cream shop, their bakery. They have a winery with wine tasting. They also have a Christmas shop. So we'll give you a couple hours after lunch. And after we're all done, we're going to travel back to Withville to the Country Inn and Suites. We will have our last night there, dinner on our own, have a good night's sleep. And after breakfast, the next day, we're going to head back to home, back up Route 81, beautiful ride. These are two absolutely wonderful Tennessee tours.
Excellent.
I agree with that.
Well, and me personally, I would love to do the Memphis part myself. So.
Penny, thank you so much. Your knowledge, as you're telling these stories, and I know it takes very little preparation because you have it all in your head, and I'm very thankful for you. And Star as a company is very thankful for you. And I know tour directors like Andy and travel advisors like Deb love to hear this information come out of your mouth, because we just can absorb it and learn for the future as well. So we appreciate that. Deb, do you want to say
My pleasure, and I hope I just hope to see. Go ahead.
No, I want to say something. I mean, first of all, Penny, I'm glad that you had mentioned about going to the Peabody Hotel. I tell a lot of my customers when they book, I never knew that you guys did that. So I tell a lot of my people they have a chance to go there. I used to go there for work a lot, and it is a great experience. And for the folks that have ever seen the Broadway show Memphis, it's based on the Sun Studios. I mean, regardless if you like country, Elvis, whatever, I mean, Tennessee overall is a great experience. I mean, looking at the architecture, how people live, I mean, it's one of my favorite places to go. So you guys did a great job.
Yeah, sounds great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Andy's giving you claps. What questions do you have for Penny? Anything that you guys can think of?
Any questions? It's just a great place to visit. You hear lots of great music, see lots of wonderful things. You have time on your own. You have time with the group. So it's really wonderfully spaced out.
Mhm.
I want to know about that one boy duck at the Peabody.
Oh, well, here, I'll tell you about the one boy at the Peabody, because I found this out. The team of ducks, the one in the four, every few months they change, because they train them, they use them, and then they put them on like a farm where they go to retirement and relax and play, but they want to train, they have new little groups that do it all the time. It's not the same ducks.
Okay.
Good to know. So those ducks are working for a few months and then they're retiring. It sounds like a dream job to me.
Pretty good deal.
I'll
They
be
have
a
a great
duck.
pension.
Well, you guys are
And
thinking.
you can actually in your free,
What's that?
in your free time, if you have some free time, go up to the penthouse and you can see where they live.
Oh, wow.
They allow you up there to see where they live in the penthouse.
Who knew?
There you go.
Penny knew, of course. I just want to remind you, we do have room left on some of the upcoming Memphis and Nashville trips, especially the early September trip. So if you're interested and you want to see the ducks for yourself, as well as Nashville and Memphis, Deb, I listed her phone number. This is her direct line, and you can call her starting tomorrow, or you can book right online, and that's really easy. So let's see, but I'll see if anybody has any questions, and I'll start working on my gift card winner. Any other questions while we have such a wealth of knowledge between Penny and Andrew and Pete and Deb here? Just ask away. And there we go. Connie's got another question. Go ahead, and Connie, unmute yourself.
Are any of those trips that you just showed for Nashville and Memphis, are any of them already full?
That's a good question. I'm looking. Yes, I think there's 2 October dates. No, there's a September 24th and an October 8th. Deb, I know one of them is full and one of them.
Both of them are pretty close to being full. I would say if you are particular about where you sit on the bus, I would do the one that's the early part of September. You have more options on that. And that's a great time to go down there anyway. So you got a lot of college students going back to school already and things are starting to shift around. But I would tend to look towards that September 3rd. I think it's September 3rd. It is Labor Day weekend, but then look at it this way. You don't have to worry about taking potato salad to somebody's picnic. Instead, you could go on our tour and there's some great barbecue. And both Memphis has phenomenal barbecue.
And for the October, how cold? is it?
Excellent barbecue.
My husband is here too. He wants to know for this October one, is it like colder or how is the weather
No,
there?
it's the temperature in October could be in the 70s and 80 degrees
Okay.
in October in Tennessee.
And as far as you know, the October one's not full yet?
Deb and I think that the September and October are either full or close to being full.
Okay.
So if you call us tomorrow, we'll let you know. But if you want a more of a choice in seats or possibly a less full trip, September 3rd would be a good date for you to go.
And what is the phone number again?
609
Uh-huh.
587
587?
0626.
Thanks.
And I was gonna look up, I have the tour escort list handy. So let's see, on September 3rd, we have Christine Durling. She's escorting the trip and she's fabulous. The Smoky, she's also escorting the Smoky Mountains trip on September 19th. And then let's see.
Copy didn't go. Even though I'm going where my slip is.
The end of September and October and May.
September, what's the date in September, Penny? Did we say? October 8th.
Yeah, at the end of September, I'm doing that one in October.
So you're doing both of those, Pen? Yeah, Penny's doing both the September and October. And Christine is doing the early September. So.
Yes, I'm doing both of them.
Yeah. All right, we've got another question. Lee, go ahead and answer.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I've traveled with you maybe 6, 8, 10, 12 times. I don't remember anymore.
Thank you.
But I'm looking forward to the September. Hi, Deborah.
Hello, sweetie.
I miss Nancy. I miss my Nancy.
Yeah,
Smith.
she's doing great though.
Yeah, I love her. So I'm traveling by myself other than September with my daughter. So you're going to continue to send the brochures, hopefully, because I'm more visual. I don't do the computer bit too much.
You're not the only one. And right, yes, we are we just mailed one. In fact, I haven't gotten it at my house yet, but many of you have gotten it. And then I think our next one is probably going to be in September or October. I'm not exactly sure, but definitely in the fall.
Okay, I know I used to get them maybe 10 times a year, but with the Postal Service and with this COVID. So September's good, and I don't know about the rest of the year. However, on the previous brochure, I wrote down like December, Myrtle Beach. So is that usually when you go to Myrtle Beach, December-ish?
No, we usually go to Myrtle Beach in September.
Oh, okay.
However, this year, Deb, correct me if I'm wrong, we have a Myrtle Beach. Do we have a Myrtle Beach New Year's Eve, Deb? Is that this year?
Well, I don't want to.
No, Myrtle Beach, I believe, is early October. Oh God, I can't. No, it is September. And our New Year's Eve tour this year is Myrtle Beach. No, Savannah. No, it's not Savannah.
Oh, right. Savannah we're doing for New Year's Eve. So Myrtle Beach is going to be September on an annual basis.
next year. We're not talking this, well, I'm going to Savannah in September, so
So next year.
sometimes I do 2 or 3 a month, but not this year. So, and then also I'm gonna be perhaps, God willing, like a single supplement, and then the rates are still basically what they are on the brochure. There's no additional monies for solo person, or no super discounts. It is what it is.
It is
Yeah.
what it is, yep.
Okay. I look forward to the next brochures and check off for next year, God willing.
God willing. Thank you, Aileen. Nice to talk to
Okay,
you.
dear. Nice to talk to you and see you again. Okay, dear.
All right, Lois has a question.
Yes, hi. I'm going to the Memphis trip, all right, Memphis, Nashville, in July. What's the weather like then? Is it really hot?
Hot.
It's hot, huh?
Yes,
Hot.
it's hot.
All right, I'm just trying to, I mean, I'm basically packed, but I was just wondered what.
Layers.
Bring your bikini so you can have a swim when you have a chance.
Oh, okay.
One of the things I really recommend, for the July trip to Memphis, Nashville, they have these cloths that you put around your neck, you put them in cold water and you wring them out. They are really wonderful down there. They keep your body so much cooler. I highly recommend them.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
If I may, Penny,
Sure.
I took your advice and got online at Amazon, of course, not trying to truly give them a plug, but I got what they call Frog Frogs chili wrap, and I demonstrated it out in the garden the other day. And it really works, you guys. It feels like a chamois.
It takes the heat out of your body.
It
cools you down.
I mean, and your clothes don't get
It's amazing.
It is worth the money. This Irish woman will tell you it's worth the money.
I think I may invest in that, and I'm not even going to Tennessee.
I'm telling you, I love them. It's so great. And I got them overnight. So that's the best part.
The things you learn on Tour Tuesday.
Really?
Thank you for letting me contribute there.
Thanks, Andy. And Joyce, you're on mute. I know you have a question.
Yeah, I do. A couple of years back, maybe longer, you did a New Year's Eve trip to New York. It was the Great Lakes and the winery, the whole. It was fabulous, and I've been thinking I'd like to do that again. Are you going to? At that time of the year, it was perfect because we had snow here. There was no snow there.
Oh my God, that must have been the only time ever.
Oh, it was amazing. The winery,
New York.
the whole 9 yards. What now?
Penny, are you remembering?
It was in Rochester, New York.
Yes. We went to Kodak and a couple other places, and it was
and
fabulous.
I did that tour.
Yes, you did. I remember.
Yes. And they had 2 music venues, and everybody was dressed up.
Yes.
And they had fireworks.
The hotel we stayed at actually had the event, and they were on like a little hill, and they did fireworks, and it was
fabulous.
We were so bad that year that they actually asked Star Tour people to quiet down at night because we were partying so hard. It was so great.
Maybe that's why we never got invited back. Joyce.
But I love it. I would love to do that again. Well, maybe not the partying so much. I'm a little older, but just the sights, the food, the winery.
It was excellent.
Oh yes.
I'll have to look that trip
excellent.
up. I don't remember that one, so I'm writing it down. Penny does.
I have the paperwork for it. I actually have the paperwork for it at home.
All right, check it out. We're working on.
Yes, I'd love to do that again.
We're working on New Year's Eve 2022 into 2023 already, if you can believe it.
I can believe it. And the Savannah one this year?
Yes.
You still have openings for that one?
Still do. It's
Okay,
selling out
I-
fast, but we still have a few openings.
Okay, if I can get my act together, I may sign up for that one. Because
Okay.
I love the ones you do. I mean, I've done quite a few of the ones at New Year's Eve because, I'm home by myself. I go, and me and Pierre would just hop on and just go with you guys and have the best times ever.
Yeah, that's great. We have a lot of people that come with us for Thanksgiving. They come with us for New Year's Eve. In this case, we even have a Memphis trip over Labor Day. So, people just want to change the scenery over the holidays, and we can accommodate. So that's great. Any other questions before I announce our gift card winner? I do have a winner. All right. Our winner is Marie Barbarato. Marie Barbarato. Let's see if we can see her. Where's she go? Is she still here on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there she is. All right, Marie, you've won $25 towards your next trip. So congratulations. We will be in touch with you to figure out how we can get you to spend that money. So
Okay, sounds good. I'll be talking to Deb. She's my favorite.
Congratulations.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Before we go, I have two important things to tell you about. One, in 2 weeks on July 27th, we'll be back on Tour Tuesday talking about lots and lots of fall foliage vacations. So I hope you can join us for that. We'll talk about New Hampshire and Vermont and lots of places that you can go to see the leaves change, which is a wonderful thing to do in the fall. So I hope you can join us. And I would like to say a special thank you to our Tennessee twosome, Pete and Andrew, for joining us. We are so thrilled to have the authentic Tennessee experience right here on Tour Tuesday. So thank you.
Thank you for you.
I would like to also especially thank Penny Rudolph for joining us all the way from Mackinac Island, Michigan. She's working on tour, but she's working on Tour Tuesday too. She is amazing. She is amazing. So thank you, Penny. Thank you, Andy, for joining us. And thank you, Deb Ayers, who also is working a longer day because she just worked a whole day in the office and now she's here. So we at Star Tours work really hard so that you can vacation really hard. So thank you for that. And it's great to see everybody. And we will see you on the 27th of July.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye, bye,
Thank
Andrew.
you.
Bye,
You
Pete.
did a
Bye,
wonderful
Sandy.
job.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Marie.
You did a wonderful
Yeah.
job, Jenny, in